Welcome to the state of Ohio. I'm Karen Kassler. The plan to overhaul the process for drawing lawmakers' district lines seems likely to be the only one on the fall ballot, after backers turned in nearly double the number of valid signatures they need. But a group hoping to ask voters to increase the minimum wage in Ohio said at the deadline on July 3rd it was close, but did not get enough signatures in some rural counties. But as my Statehouse News Bureau colleague Sarah Donaldson reports, what went wrong with the campaign depends on who you ask.
For months, paid circulators and volunteers with Raise the Wage Ohio have been getting signatures to put a proposed constitutional amendment before voters. The amendment would have boosted the minimum wage in the state for most workers to $12.75 per hour by 2025 and $15 per hour by 2026. It also would have eventually gotten rid of the sub-minimum wage for some workers making gratuities, like servers and bartenders. That stuck out to Evan Holt. Holt is a longtime restaurant and bar worker who ran for Cincinnati City Council and lost in 2021. He says he cared about the issue, but that Raise the Wage Ohio's effort was marred by dysfunction and mismanagement.
It seemed like a huge waste of time and effort on my part.
Holt worked 2 brief stints with Raise the Wage Ohio, leading canvassing efforts in Cincinnati and its suburbs. At first, he says it was a struggle to get anything in the office.
Get some more pens and more printer ink and things like that. And somehow we were never getting these basic things that we needed.
Within a few months, Holt quit because of issues with a regional organizing director who he says was fired a month later. He started again in October and then left again by early 2024, saying he felt frustrated with the way it was being led. 2 canvassers managing the office in his absence eventually quit too.
We were told one thing one week and the next week we're doing something different,
Mariah Ross, the initiative state director, did not answer a request for comment on Holt's allegations. 2 days before signatures were due, the anti-gerrymandering organization Citizens Not Politicians was celebrating submitting nearly double the number of signatures needed in the Ohio Statehouse atrium. Volunteers with Raise the Wage Ohio lingered on the peripheral for a last-minute signature push. Ben Kindle, a spokesperson with Secretary of State Frank LaRosa's office, says his interactions were similarly disorganized. They were told several different signature delivery times before Raise the Wage Ohio decided not to submit. The organization blamed some of its shortfalls on violence and intimidation toward its non-white canvassers. A statement on July 3rd said they were verbally abused and harassed. It was the first time the potential issue had been highlighted publicly. In an earlier interview, Ross says some of that alleged treatment came from law enforcement agencies, including the Darke and Preble County Sheriff's offices.
We even had sheriffs in multiple counties escort our canvassers out of the county, telling them, if you want to collect in my county, you need a permit from us.
But both sheriff's offices rebutted those claims. Darke County Sheriff Mark Whitaker said one of his men told a person circulating a petition to move on from a tent at the Versailles Poultry Days in mid-June.
The Darke County Sheriff's Office did not escort anybody to the county line or throw anybody out of the county.
Circulating a petition is a right guaranteed under the First Amendment, but it can get dicey in places that are not entirely public. The American Civil Liberties Union says it's not soliciting to gather signatures outside of a festival or a fair held on public grounds, but organizers can prevent canvassers from doing so within the event. Ross says Raise the Wage Ohio did not file anything officially on the violence and intimidation claim. When asked, she did not offer more details about or evidence of the alleged Darke and Preble County incidents. Holt says his canvassers never ventured outside of the greater Cincinnati area, but that nothing, to his knowledge and on his watch, crossed into threats of violence. The coalition will try again for 2025, a year likely to see significantly lower turnout. Although they are eyeing a later ballot, Ross says they want to submit all their signatures by the end of this summer so that fewer are invalidated.
We don't want to waste the work that has gone into this, from all the people who are canvassing for us, to all the people who have signed, to all the money that has been invested. We don't want to waste that.
Holt said he wasn't shocked when he saw the organization didn't make the ballot. He did feel discouraged.
I just don't know why it had to be the way it was.
Of the 28 proposals to increase the minimum wage in states across the country since 1996, 26 of them have gone through. Sarah Donaldson, Statehouse News Bureau.